How many times have you said, "I'll do it someday. Someday I'll chase my dreams. Someday I'll call that person. Someday I'll fix my life"? But what if you wake up one morning and realize that someday never came? Jake had always been a dreamer. He wanted to write a book one day, a story that would inspire others, just the way his favorite writers inspired him. But every time he thought of starting, a little voice inside his head whispered, "Not today. You've got time. You'll start someday." He had a regular 9-to-5 job, enough to pay the bills, but not enough to fill his soul. Each morning he'd sit by the window with his coffee, watching the sun climb over the buildings, promising himself, "I'll start writing tomorrow. Just one more day to prepare." Days turned to weeks. Weeks melted into months. Soon, a full year had passed, and his dream notebook remained empty. Still, Jake believed he had time. "It's fine," he'd say, smiling to himself. "I'm just waiting for the right moment." Until one afternoon, life gave him a moment he never saw coming. His father, who'd always been healthy and active, suddenly collapsed at home. A massive heart attack. Jake rushed him to the hospital. The endless white corridors, the smell of antiseptic, the sound of beeping machines, it all blurred together. He held his father's cold hand, whispering, "Please wake up. We still have so much to do. I'll take you on that trip you always wanted. Just get better." But some wishes remain unanswered. His father didn't make it. That night, Jake sat alone in the hospital parking lot. The streets were quiet except for the hum of passing cars. Tears blurred his vision as one thought kept echoing in his mind. "We always said we'd go someday." The word someday felt heavier than ever before. He realized how many things he had postponed. Dinner plans, family calls, dreams, goals, all waiting for this imaginary perfect day that never came. For weeks, Jake lived on autopilot. Work, sleep, repeat. Until one Sunday morning, he found an old letter while cleaning his father's desk. It was addressed to him. In his father's familiar handwriting, the letter began, "Jake, my son, life won't wait for someday. The world keeps moving, even when you pause. Don't wait to live. Don't wait to start." He read those lines again and again. Each word cut deep, but at the same time, something inside him began to heal. For the first time in his life, Jake stopped planning and started doing. He pulled out his old notebook, dusted it off, and opened the first page. That day, he wrote his first sentence. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't even good, but it was real. Every evening after work, he'd sit at a small desk, writing one page at a time. No more waiting for someday. Sometimes he'd feel his father's presence beside him, silently proud. On difficult days, he'd whisper, "Dad, I'm finally doing it. You were right." Months passed. Words turned into chapters. And one morning, Jake held the very first printed copy of his book in his hands. It wasn't a bestseller. It didn't make him famous, but it gave him something far more powerful, peace. Because he had finally learned what time was truly worth. We all have a someday. A dream bookmark for the future. A message we plan to send. A change we keep postponing. But life is not waiting. The clock is moving, quietly but surely. One day, you'll look back and realize it was never about having time. It was about making time. Maybe you want to start that small business. Maybe you want to say sorry. Maybe you just want to take care of your health. Whatever it is, do it now. Not perfectly. Not when you have more money or more confidence. Just now. Because someday isn't a day on the calendar. It's a graveyard of lost dreams. Remember Jake? He didn't just write a book. He rewrote his life. All because he stopped waiting for the right moment and created one instead. So, if you've been waiting too, for a sign, for courage, for clarity, take this story as your sign. Don't let someday steal your today. Start living your story now. Because time won't stop for any of us, but we can stop wasting it.